because the issue by the way, you're gonna have to tell me if you can see this because I literally can't see it. But like a lot of stuff that happened basically was his fault. Because he wanted an heir so badly that was a male that, like, he did all of this stuff, like marrying off Lorsulia, having a witch doctor help them birth a son, and you can make the argument that it's that is the reason it's his fault. And that's clearly the reason that he was blaming himself and he was trapped for so long. In that hellscape in his mind. Because of that guilt. And so I guess you can make an argument that him overcoming that guilt and then sacrificing himself is sort of a complete arc. But at the same time, it annoys me. Because he basically did very little. He basically did nothing in 90% of the game, and then he comes back and immediately dies. And I know that's not like a I know that's not the charitable interpretation of events, but that's basically what happened. And that kind of annoys me a little bit. I would much prefer that he not die and that be a cliffhanger that is fulfilled differently. You know, hopefully it's more like he's going to say goodbye to Lorsulia finally. Maybe he's not going to die. Maybe he's just seeing a glimpse of the afterlife so he can say goodbye to Lorsulia. I would like it if that is what is going to happen to him, but if he dies, I'm gonna be a little bit fucking pissed. But yeah, he did get to save his son, which is kind of impressive because he was laying in bed for like 6 months. Like, this man covered in bed sores walks up to you and fucking kills you because you're a fat asshole that stole his son. Like, this man is practically a corpse, and he still kills you, which is pretty fucking awesome, but at the same time, it's just like, oh god, why the fuck? Why does he have to fucking die? That's such bullshit. Ugh. So I'm really hoping that it's not a real death. I hope it's a fake out death. I really hope it's a fake out death. Whoops. Other than that, though, being sort of like my preference, I don't think the writing in the game was bad. It's just like one of those things where it's like, oh man, oh really? He's gonna come back and then immediately die? Oh, that's not a tired stereotype. That's a little bit annoying at times. Oh well. Like, if the writers decide that he did die, then yeah, I'll respect the decision, but it's just annoying. And he does nothing and then dies. It's like, well, mostly nothing and then dies. I hate this world we made right here already. There's a lot of bullshit in it. You know what? I'm gonna restart it. Just gonna start from square one again. This is much easier. Whoops, not that. But yeah, yeah, I really enjoyed that game. I have no idea when they're gonna make their next sequel, but Ear rape. I don't know when they're possibly ever going to release their next game, but I'm certainly going to want to play it, just like I played this one. Oh fuck, I already tried laying this, so now I can't undo the previous one. Okay, this is getting out of hand ever so slightly. In fact, I think this quest is just dead. I don't think there's anything I can do for that quest anymore. That sucks. Yeah, I did indeed like the game quite a lot. I wasn't expecting it to end there. I thought we would have more things to do, but apparently we're now finished. And I guess that means the next main game we're going to play on the channel is probably going to be the new Deltarune. I heard that came out. I have seen no spoilers for it. So we're gonna definitely go to that game and hopefully have a good time with it. Ah! I accidentally clicked outside the window. Ah, interesting. There is still a lot of story that game series can cover. Even if Eric does die, there's still quite a lot that could be explored, because it's not a bad game by any means. I certainly sort of liked the aspect of the original game where it felt more like you were legitimately doing like medieval management, whereas this game was definitely way more focused on the plot. Like, we spent most of the game like homeless and then crashing in a fucking random keep we found. Like, it was really more about the plot and not about kingdom management, which is fine, because like there's only so much of a management simulator you can do before it's the same thing over and over again. So leaning back into the plot more it makes it more compelling. In this game, though, we were like fucking homeless. We were homeless most of the fucking game. And I was assuming that retaking the castle would be a matter of more city management stuff and not a result of anything else. Of us, like, suddenly having a big plot thing that happens that we attach ourselves to. God damn it! I didn't mean to do that. But now I've done it and I can't undo it. I'm not gonna lie, I'm probably gonna ask some of you guys, like, do you want me to try and replay the first two chapters of Deltarune? See if I can do better, because I never beat Jevil, and I never beat the secret boss in chapter 2 either. So I could always go back and like replay those games and then play the two new chapters. Like when I last played Deltarune was years ago now. It may have been 2022, 2023. You know, we're way past that now. Did you play them on stream? Yes, I streamed them. You know, Deltarune is like the Undertale sequel, spiritual sequel. I'm sure you remember that at least. That's all I know about it. Right. Yeah, I did stream it before. For a while, I thought they were the same game. In a way, they sort of are. It's kind of like Deltarune is like a new take on Undertale, I guess. Because it's the same type of gameplay, where it's an RPG where there's also platforming stuff you have to do. But unlike Undertale, it's not quite an on the nose game trying to make a point about like games themselves. Like Undertale is one gigantic fourth wall break. I say dive right into the new one. You've already got your canon stream ending. Sure. But it would also be satisfying if I was able to beat those secret bosses on stream. But like, I haven't played the game in such a long time that it's sort of like I'm kind of like out of the gameplay, so to speak. Like I have no practice for it within in me anymore because it's been such a long time. Is that the Big Shot game? Yeah, that's Chapter 2. Yeah, the secret boss in Chapter 2 is Spampton. I guess if you haven't seen anything about it, though, I shouldn't spoil it. But yeah, like he's yeah, I haven't beaten the secret boss in Chapter 2 or in Chapter 1. I don't know, I'll probably ask people if they want me to replay Chapter 1 and 2. And there's always the thing where maybe I could replay Chapter 1 and 2, I could play them off camera just to set up a better save game, and then I could beat both bosses on that save game, I guess. I don't know. Spoil away. Honestly, it's hard to spoil at this point because I don't remember everything very clearly. But yeah, Undertale originally was basically a gigantic fourth wall breaking game that was sort of philosophizing about the meaning of what even like a game is. Deltarune is not so posh. It's a lot more like trying to tell a cohesive story within its own universe. So at least from what I remember, I could be wrong. Maybe the two new chapters are heading it back in the same direction as Undertale was. But I don't actually know. I'm not actually sure. If Undertale was about monsters aren't that bad. So here's the thing. Okay, here's the thing about Undertale. Undertale, in its programming, goes out of its way to make sure that if you walk into the game and you start just not paying attention to anything and you just start killing everyone, the game's code specifically sets up the entirety of the rest of the game and your future save games to remember everything you've done. So the entire point of Undertale is to force you to consider the consequences of your actions, even though you're just playing a video game. Now, You can go into the source code, like the files, the program files for Undertale, and you can do a true reset to force the game to do what you want and not record your past mistakes. But overall, what the developer was trying to force you to do was take the game as seriously as possible. And that is literally the point. It's a game that is about empathy, with its greatest lesson trying to teach you that there are consequences for not having any empathy in a game that is supposed to be an immersive role-playing game. And yes, that's why Sans has knowledge of, like, the world outside of his world. Like, he has knowledge of the game world, and he has clues in his own mind about what is exactly happening and how the save game system works, and how you're like and he also knows that you're like a repeating outside force that is invading their space. Because that's the point of Undertale. It's trying to tell you to take it seriously, even though it's a video game, and consider the consequences of your actions, because that's the point. Like, that is the point of Undertale, is to have empathy and take this game seriously. And so, of course, my response to that is, okay, I'm gonna take this completely seriously, and so I never did a genocide run, and I never will do a genocide run. Because even though I know it's not real, like, these aren't real people, I decided that I'm going to respect their existence and not just forcibly play the game in a way that causes them to suffer. Because the point is that it's trying to teach you empathy, which a lot of people think is obnoxious, which is completely and utterly fair on anyone's part who doesn't like Undertale for that reason. But for me, I'm a tabletop role player, you know, at heart, and almost at profession if I get my book done at any point. But like, I understand why people would dislike Undertale on that basis. But personally, I'm totally fine with, like, respecting what the source material is attempting to teach. Or attempting to say, even if it is a bit obnoxious. Deltarune isn't quite the same yet, though. Like, it has some fourth wall breaking elements, but not to the same level as Undertale. Like, in Undertale, it was the point. Like, the whole point was exactly that. Was breaking the fourth wall. But that doesn't appear to be what Deltarune's point necessarily is. Which is thanks to the fact that it doesn't have... It's much longer. Like, it's going in this chapter by chapter basis, and every chapter is like the same size as Undertale, so it's a much bigger game in that sense. So it's probably not necessarily doing the same thing Undertale was doing. It might be trying to do its own thing in that sense. Then again, maybe the 2 new chapters prove me wrong on that. It's gotten more interesting sounding now that it's been explained. I never got into the style of gameplay, just isn't for me. It's definitely not a game I usually would have played, but it was the first... Undertale was the first game I ever streamed. Like, my first stream VOD that I ever posted was I hit my head on the way down. It's like, because it's one of those iconic streamer games, so that it was the first thing I played, and so it's fairly burned into my skull. And I'm not gonna lie, there are probably people who disagree with my take on Undertale. They might think that there's a different meaning behind everything, but that was what I am pretty sure the exact thing that the game was trying to do. Which is the entire reason that if you go around and you literally kill everyone in Undertale, the game remembers that to the best of its ability forever, even in future playthroughs. Even if you go back and you do a new playthrough where you're nice to everybody, the game still remembers, and it gives you, like, these unique, ominous penalties in order to remind you that it knows that you're still a monster that never took the game seriously to begin with. Right? And my interpretation of that is that the game is trying to forcibly assert that you should be taking it seriously, and that consequences, even in video games, should mean something to you. Other people extrapolate that idea as being sort of like, oh, it's more like this in-universe cosmic scale thing that's not actually breaking the fourth wall. It's just that you're playing a character that is so powerful that they are outside of the game's universe, and that's what the characters are seeing and what the fourth wall is interacting with, and so it's not actually the fourth wall, and you don't need to take the game seriously, but, like, my takeaway is to take it seriously. Because I am a tabletop role-playing game player, and that is just the way my brain works. Like, if a video game is going to implore to me that there are consequences for my actions that will be remembered and will be permanent, then I'm totally fine with taking it seriously, and I feel like that must be the point of why this is being asserted to me. It's like when you're playing a tabletop role-playing game in real life, and, like, the group is trying to do a serious collaborative story that is taken seriously and has some laughs and some silliness, but isn't like... It isn't trying to be, you know, Murder Hobo Simulator. One of the few games where actions really do mean something. Right, yeah. And that's why people were attached to Undertale, and why it has such a big autistic fan base, you know, all the way in 2013, and still does have that audience still playing Deltarune even now. I 100% get that because I both playing DM. Yep. Hey, if I ever release my own role-playing game system, you know, maybe you could show it to your friends. Ooh, this is a good place. It avoids the water, but it's a good place to close off this, because this wants to be closed off. Get in on the ground floor, as they say. I don't know that saying, unfortunately, because I am le stupid. All right, we got those. Let's have the railroad track go away from where I am placing houses. But yeah, like, I enjoy when that tabletop role-playing games are, like, a collaborative story thing where the consequences mean something. And the fact that Undertale was trying to do that with a video game, like, causes me to respect it, you know, on its terms. So that was what my takeaway was, and why I will never do a goddamn fucking genocide run of Undertale, even though Sans is the hardest boss in the game and has a lot of prestige behind beating him. I don't care, because the point to me wasn't that, oh, I want to play this game hardcore, because the point to me was, is to respect the characters and the plot and their own universe, and not treat it like just like a normal video game where there are no consequences. I'm down. I do a lot of homebrew mechanics in my games, and one of the groups I play with, while they meet infrequently, do like trying other styles. Okay, cool. There's no real reason for me to keep it super secret, but like, me and my brother have been working on it for basically 10 years. And the reason it's taken so long is because I am disabled, and he has to hold a job down and all that. So our time is filled with a lot of things that is not our small little startup company. But we do have quite a lot of it like, semi-finished. Like, we have a lot of stats for a lot of stuff basically written down. And, like, the problem I've encountered... And, like, the problem that I've encountered, really, is really just, like, the logistics of just having to do everything in my power not to copy-paste things. Because it's just... There's so much tedium in it, even though the game itself is fun to make things for. It's just the tedium is the thing that makes actually cataloging everything so difficult. We've done kids on bikes. They're doing a Vampire the Masquerade, and I've done a White Wolf style. I missed out on that because of my Florida trip, and I've done a White Wolf. I don't even know what White Wolf is. I know Vampire the Masquerade though. Or well, I'm aware of Vampire the Masquerade. Some of the lore of Vampire the Masquerade is kind of interesting, but I've never been like super hooked on those settings. But yeah, so the game that we're making is high fantasy, and the entire point of the reason we even started making it when I was still a teenager is because we didn't like in 3.5 Dungeons and Dragons that everything had to be manually created for you to have any style of character. And so instead we decided we wanted to make a point-based system, a point-buy system that makes it so that a person can basically make their character's aesthetic always perfectly match their powers and their mechanics. So, like, none of this shit where it's like you have to repaste, you have to, like, recontextualize everything to work a certain way to make it look different. Like, no, your look matches your power, and you get to customize it exactly as you want. So we have a D20, so we've made a D20 point buy system for that purpose. And if you make it universal, so that there aren't separate rules for monsters and player characters, it makes it so that everything is more consistent, and that eventually it will be much easier to balance out than, say, epic level campaigns from 3.5 edition Dungeons and Dragons. What do you mean copy-paste? Like, copy-paste rules from other systems, just the tedium of writing. Literally okay, so, like, one of the things that I've been doing is trying to make a summon monster list, for example. There is so much I have to do to not try to copy-paste way too much when making all of the creatures. Because there's just the tedium. There is just the tedium behind having to make everything manually, is what I'm getting at. Also, VTM and White Wolf are D10 based systems where, and when you roll, you have multiple die, and you succeed based on how many successes you have. That makes sense to me. I think I have played systems like that before, just not super commonly. One system I really enjoyed that got me my brother pumped for the system that we're working on is a system called Mutants and Masterminds. It's from a foreign non-English speaking dev that is meant to allow you to make superheroes, and that is a point buy system as well, except all of the mechanics are totally different. Like, there is no hit point counter, there's just condition counter, there's just conditions. And if you put somebody on a specific condition, they just go unconscious. You know, they're knocked unconscious, because in most superhero show, settings, you know, people aren't murdering everyone. You know, save for Invincible, which is great. And I guess The Boys, but The Boys kind of sucks. Because it was literally made by somebody who hates superheroes. So it kind of fucking blows. But most superhero media, people aren't murdering each other violently. So that system doesn't have a hit point based system where you just die at 0 or negative 10 hit points. You have to go through a condition track, and when you fall unconscious, you're out of the fight. Come the fuck on. Oh my god, I keep getting so many of these dual tracks. It's getting fucking annoying. Luckily, there's a lot of... I'm so happy there's an open games license. You know, even though WotC is trying to eliminate it right now. Hopefully by the time me and my brother are finished, they won't have literally done so. Because that would be very, very fucking frustrating. Hmm. God damn it. Is it worth doing that? No, I can't make... Yeah, this quest is cooked. It's not coming back. It is never coming back. Yeah, VTM and White Wolf are also point buy and operate on sort of a boon and bane trait system. You get good things for your character, but you also have take negatives. Kids on Bikes and Injury and... Kids on Bikes uses an injury and conditions health system, and instead of feats, you get point buy trait thing. Right. In our system, me and my brother have attempted to make it so not only is it point buy, but you literally customize. You can literally customize everything. Like you just rename your. You could take a basic ability and then use your points to basically change all of its properties to do exactly what you want it to do with the amount of power you have available. And you can take on negative traits to get some more points as well. Like currently in like the 2-man campaign I do once a week. Like I have a character one of his weaknesses that gave him a little bit of a bonus is that he is not allowed to start fights because he's a pacifist. But he can finish fights, but he can't start them. And so I received a tiny little bonus for that. So you can do that in our game as well, just taking penalties in order to get a different benefit. I like to power scale a lot when I homebrew, so I give my players unique abilities that change with them, or prestige weapons that evolve with them. Yep. Yeah, our system, we meant for it to be something that is for people who both like power gaming but also like creativity. Like, the whole point is that we wanted to fuse those two things perfectly. And we've also created instructions on how to quickly make a character in the system for people who have no brains and don't want to be creative. you know, in hopes that that could work out. I mean, I need so many fucking water railway stations. I need 2 just for this stretch right here. Like, build a theme for a character but still make them effective without min-maxing? Right. Like, yeah, like, you just get the basics. You can just have a quick start on the basics. Like, if somebody walks in and they say, I want to make all my powers based on JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, the aim is that our system will literally just let you do that. As long as you're within a certain level threshold, you know? Obviously, when I say do anything, I mean, like, literally the theme of your character. I don't mean, like, oh, I have unlimited power from level 1. Right, because that would be stupid. If somebody walks in and they're like, I want to do this specific thing, the goal is that you should just immediately be able to do it without any questions asked, without any confusion. I'm fine with people having powerful builds that they go for in their games, so long as everybody understands, including the DM, because if you have a disparagement of power levels in your party, then the combats are going to be strange. And that's not usually a good thing, for the combats to be strange and difficult to balance. Oh, I 100% will make the I want to do a thing work if possible. Yeah, it's just that a lot of D&D doesn't really support that a lot anymore, and that it has to be this thing where it's just people just have to say, okay, I guess we'll just restyle this to be that. But the rules in D&D don't, like, actually technically permit that. It's just that you are allowed to do it because it's a fucking fictional game. So of course you can do it because you have agency as a real person. But we wanted more than that. We wanted the game literally to support, I have an exact character idea. Okay, you can do it, period. Now, it does follow a certain logical threshold. Like, if you're going to be using elemental magic, you know, you're using elemental magic. You're not randomly having other weird bullshit that makes no sense happening. There's still a logical operation happening, but other than that, it's like it's meant to be just working as intended. If I put this here, like, it's never going to get completed. It's going to take such a long time to complete that if I put that there. So I guess I'll put it here instead. Depends on how they're min-maxing. Like, I'll never let someone get a god of a character, and I will set up scenarios where the min-maxer is countered to let other players shine. The only problem with that is that when you set up encounters to counter a powerful player, that player is going to feel like it's unfair. And, like, they're going to feel targeted, with the only thing justifying it being when it makes sense that the enemies know the weaknesses of one of the players, and then they adjust according to their own knowledge. But if the enemies are like wolves and they don't have that knowledge, like, the player is gonna feel like they're being targeted. But I do understand what you mean, yeah. That's the way of doing. That's the only way to really compromise with that, honestly. 12 versus 28. So we ruined 2 by putting this here. No, we ruined 3 tiles. Here we ruined 2 tiles, so I guess I'll put it there. Ugh. Nope. That does not fit there. Definitely does not fit there. Leaning back. Blah. Oh. Ugh. No! Whatever. How can this happen to me? We shouldn't be here for real on gods. It's these storm cucks the Simperium wants. Simperials wants. I really do like making mechanics and getting experimental, so if you ever get the rules done all, I know my group would like to see it. And one of them was designing the system themselves. Oh, cool, cool. Yeah, we don't have a lot of, like, resources to, like, test it, like, with general audiences at the moment. So, when the time comes, I will appreciate that. Kidnap some people in Minecraft. I don't like this. It sucks. Fucking blows. This world sucks, but I'm not gonna delete it. Oh, here's one of the water things we need. Okay. has to be there. Oh, shit. I keep getting so many of these fucking things. I guess they still work, like, over here. Nice! Motherfucker. Jesus, okay. I mean, I could do that. It doesn't contribute to the quest, though, so I don't want to... yeah. That doesn't need to be closed. This one does. No! Where is Omni-Man? Where is he? Oh, God. You know what? I'll use it to close that. Absolutely no way that was gonna fit. Same here, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's no way. Yeah, I have to put this somewhere else. I have to do another new goddamn... God, do I do it here? God, that's disgusting. I started watching Code Vein, a Code Vein 2 trailer, and when you said, "Where is Omni-Man?" I thought it was in the trailer! What? Where is Omni... Did I sound that convincing? What? Where is Omni-Man? Where is he? Oh, that's hysterical. Gotta be fucking joking. Okay. Nope, that's not good. That's bad. That sucks. Maybe that's fine. You timed it really well. I see. Oh, man. This does not close shit off at all. This was almost good, but it ruins the blank tile, so I can't use it there. I have to use it somewhere else. Guess I have to do it here. Even though I want to close that off, I don't really have a choice. Hmm. Excuse me. Probably not a good idea, if I'm going to be honest. Actually, let's put this over here. God fucking damn it. Another goddamn tree quest. Fucking insufferable. Railroad stop, huh? Guess I could quit, but I don't want to quit yet. I am surprised that that game ended right there. I really did not think that that it was going to end right there. Dead ass for real on God. We shouldn't be here, for real on gods. That's really what we should do? I feel like this is bad, but maybe I guess we do. What? The fuck? God. Ruins 3 tiles, though, so I'm not going to do that. One singular house. Oh my god. Oh no, it doesn't work right there. Or there. Do I want to lock this out? Yeah, I do actually. It's not pretty thingish. Okay, yeah, that's too much for them. For this thing. 46 versus 37. That fucking sucks. Oh, God. So close. I'm down in the 20s, though. I can't really afford to not fill all these holes up. Oh, wait, this is... Oh, I can close this off. I ruined one of those tiles, though. It's unfortunate. Screw it. Nice. Oh, this keeps them separate, actually, so there's nothing wrong with that. Oh, very good. Ruins a tile if I do that. Same right there, it ruins it. Okay. Yeah, I needed to do that, unfortunately. Want to. Oh, I fucked myself. Oh, god damn it. Son of a bitch. Oh, well. Ugh. Oh, well. You know what? That's probably the sign. Ruins a tile if I do that, though. Okay, that should be that. This is getting out of hand. It's 20 after. Thank you all very much for joining me here tonight. I really appreciate you coming here to hang out with me. We will be back in 4 days. Wednesday, if you live in the United States. And we'll be back at it with a chill stream, and by then by Friday, Saturday, I will have a new game selected. It's probably gonna be Deltarune because, well, you know, it's new, so it's all the rage right now. And also I played the other games, so, you know, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully it is a fun time. If you happen to be new here and you enjoyed hanging out with us tonight, if you think I deserve a follow, I'd appreciate that quite a bit. We stream 3 times a week for approximately 2 hours, and this stream will be re-uploaded to YouTube tomorrow night, where we'll join every single stream I've ever done. So if there are any you want to catch up on, you can find all of them there. Link is in the About section. Yeah, you have a good one as well, my dude. So yeah, thank you all very much for being here. I appreciate your support in every capacity. I hope you have a good afternoon, evening, morning, etc. And I will see you all again soon, with chill times, but then something new. Ciao!